Hi, do you have a huge social media following? That's all the rage today. All the rage is having a social media following. And no matter what platform you have it on, it's the numbers that people are looking for. And it's all about the social media. But have you thought about one thing? Have you thought about all of these followers that you have? How are you going to lift them up? How are you going to take them to the next level? You say, what next level? Well, eventually, with all these different platforms coming up, people are not going to want to stay with the same thing for a long period of time. After all, that's just how people are. But you've taken your time to build that great social media following. So where do you go now? What's the next step? What's the next logical step? Well, I'm here to tell you the next logical step is getting a website. Ah, websites aren't just for businesses anymore. Developing a website and using your creativity to see if you can do what? Can you transfer those followers from your social media to your website platform? Now that's going to be the challenge. Can you handle that challenge? Can you handle to expand the minds of your followers? I think you can. But the biggest thing for you to do right now is to make sure and ensure that you get the name that you want. The name game is what's on right now. The name game for a website is what's crucial. The name game in the website arena is the big priority, the big gold rush, if you will, that's going on right now. So I would say head on over to premierwebsitenames.info. It's really easy to do, step-by-step instructions on what you need to do to get your website up. But the first thing is you may not yet know what you want to do with your websites because there's a lot of things you can do with it. There's more out there than just a blog. You can do a lot with a website. You can have a blog if that's what you choose to, but why not be creative? A website allows you to be very, very, very creative. It's going to allow you to do a lot of different things. And the biggest thing is to make sure that you expand the minds of your followers, that you continue to keep them interested. Do you need to leave social media? Of course not. Social media, if you don't know it, here's a lesson for you today that social media is going to really be the news media that will lead people to your website, that will lead people to a bigger presence. And a bigger presence is a website. Now, you might ask, why? Why would a website be a bigger presence? A bigger presence because you're allowed to do a lot more things. You're allowed to be a lot more creative. And if you want to say, for instance, your website blog is maybe about food, you might want to do more in-depth food research, or you might want to do more in-depth interviews. There's just a whole world of things. You might come up with a collage of different foods. You might just want to do a video of people talking about it. There's a lot of things. You might want to do a commentary. One time you might want to do a podcast which you show on your website. One time you might just want to write a blog, which is fine. But the bottom line is you have the creative ability, not just a snippet, or not just a little bit. You have a lot of room to grow and expand. And because of that, guess what? Your followers grow. You pique their curiosity. You make them more interested. And that will allow you to do, again, a lot more things. I'm just touching the subject. I'm sure your creative juices are beginning to work because now you're able to think of a whole lot of different things. But again, let me tell you what's going on. The name game. What's in a name? Your name. Whatever name you have, you want to make sure that it translates over to the website world, the internet world, if you will, to your website property. It is a property. You want people to come to your property, your website property, your domain property. So you want the name that's going to best make sure that people recognize you on the internet, because your internet presence is going to be extremely important. Why? Because websites are not just for businesses anymore. They're not. And what you need to know is that people are buying up website names. And even if you want to use your own name, there are a million of yous out there. Not yous, but people with your name or your likeness, if you will. That's the best way I can put it. But you want to get it. And the biggest extension right now is a .com extension. Of course, if you can't get a .com extension, that's okay. Make it work. And right now, there are so many different types of extensions out there that is, wow, this is just unbelievable. If you knew the amount of extensions that are out there, but the main one that most people recognize, and believe me, there's still a lot of people who are new to this whole internet thing, the whole social media thing. .com is the most familiar. So if you're able to get a .com name, I would suggest you rush on over to Premier Website Names.info or PremierWebsiteNames.com. By the way, my name is Andrew L. Brown Jr., and I'm happy to invite you to PremierWebsiteNames.info and PremierWebsiteNames.com. Why? Once again, if you are someone who has a huge, or maybe not a huge, or maybe you might want to expand your social media, you can do the same thing with a website. So what I'm suggesting is, you may not know, well, come on, Andrew, I don't have an idea. I'm still trying to figure out. Don't wait to figure out what you want to do with the website yet. Right now, the most important thing, this is like a gold rush, trust me. The most important thing you can do is get the name or names. If you have several names, get the names that you want. And highest priority is get a .com. But don't stop there, because a .net, a .info, a .shop, a .me, I told you there's a lot. A .online, a .us, there's a lot out there. Why would there be so many, you might ask? Someone knows something. There's a secret of brewing. I'm telling you a secret. I'm telling you a secret. And it's a secret I want you to let everybody know. There's going to be a gold rush, baby. And it's going to be towards the internet, direct internet. And the only way you really can do that is with a website. With a website. Websites are not just for businesses anymore. So you need to get the name that you want. Figure out all the details later. Figure out how you're going to work it out later. But when you get your website property, when you get your domain property, then you know you have it. Then you can develop your site around it. You might even go ahead and say, hey, to your social media followings and do whatever you do with it, because those are small snippets. Really, that's going to be the news feed. That's going to give people information about other things and lead them to other things. For in this case, they're going to lead them to your website. Why? Because you're going to do what you do on your social media, and then you're going to what? Expand it. Expand it in your website. That will make the people that are really following you or really interested get more interested in what you're doing, because now you're not limited. Now you're able to do a lot more and show how really creative you are. It's just, once you get into that world, it's just going to be unbelievable the type of things that you can do. Again, what you need to go ahead and do is, because there's a gold rush in these names, trust me, that's the secret I'm telling you. Difference with this secret is, I want you to tell everybody that you know. Get the name that you want. If you can get a .com, get a .com. If you can't, the net, the info, the me, the shop, the online, the us, those are just as great also. But right now, head on over to premierwebsitenames.info. And if you're just ready to go ahead and dive into it, just go straight to premierwebsitenames.com and get started today. Hold your spot. Trust me, the gold rush is on, the shift is on. I'll see you with your creative website soon. Take care.